Hey, it's Elaine Stefanos, co-founder of Mojo Life Coaches, and today I'm sharing 3 proven strategies to overcome the dreaded state of procrastination. And I mean like literally punt it out the door so that you guys can achieve your goals and dreams. I really honor you for joining me today because procrastination can really paralyze you and keep you stuck in life. And when you're stuck in life, it makes you feel sluggish, dreary, lethargic, apathetic. And the reason I know this is absolutely true is because that's exactly how I felt 10 years ago. You see, I'm a recovered procrastinator who also suffered from perfection, and I was absolutely paralyzed in life, unable to create a life that I desired and deserved. And then I finally made it a must just to break out of this paralysis of procrastination. And today I'm going to share what I did, how I did it, and what I learned from my mentors like Mary Morrissey or Tony Robbins and other thought leaders that who teach on this topic. And today I'm going to break it down for you step by step on how I broke free. And since that time, I've guided thousands of clients out of procrastination to achieve their dreams. So first off, let's talk about why it's so vital to plow through the fears and punt procrastination from our lives. You see, when we procrastinate, we sabotage our ability to make any progress toward our goals and dreams. We come to a screeching halt and we absolutely become paralyzed. Now, I know you all want to improve your life, otherwise you wouldn't be here today. So let's dig right in. Do you dream of this type of life? It's where you desire vitality and energy and great health and adoring love, maybe? Do you yearn to live in a peaceful and happy home that you can call your sanctuary? Do you want to feel energized and thrilled every day and kick off your morning with a punch of mojo like I do? It's there, it's available for you. Do you dream of having a fulfilling life that has purpose and it inspires you and it brings you bliss? Do you want financial freedom and an abundance of time? Do you want to be confident that you can accomplish anything that you desire? If the answer to those questions is, heck yeah, then you're in the right place, because I'm about to help you create that and so much more. You see, your dream is within your reach, but what's keeping you from achieving it? Most people aren't living the life they want simply because they procrastinate about the very things that will get them to that life. Now, I know this because Steve and I have had the privilege of coaching thousands of people who sought our guidance over the last decade. Now, these are intelligent, capable, and motivated people. For one reason or another, they were paralyzed with procrastination and they were stuck in a dead-end situation. So don't get discouraged and punish yourself when you get derailed. Because guess what? It's gonna happen. Trust me, when I started, I struggled too. But I realized that the life that I dreamed of and desired was so much bigger than my fears and much, much bigger than my old ways of procrastinating. And I overcame both, and I have set up my life by design. And today, I'm going to guide you step by step exactly how I did it. So if you feel you're struggling with procrastination, it doesn't mean you can't create what you desire or you're not worthy of achieving your goals. It simply means you're like most people who could benefit from learning the steps from someone who's overcome the same challenges. Now, we hear this all the time from and some of it may sound familiar to you. We may feel motivated one day, but then the routine of life takes over and we forget what we committed to accomplishing. Hours, days, weeks, and even months pass by, and life remains unchanged. We didn't do anything different, so our lives remain the same. New Year's came and went, and you realize you didn't achieve a lot of the goals you set during the prior year. For instance, you planned on losing 10 pounds, but you haven't changed your eating habits. And going to the gym, forget about it. Or you're embarrassed about the piles of clutter in your home, and you plan to declutter so that you can have more time to spend with your family. But instead, you're more overwhelmed than you ever were, and you beat yourself up for not achieving that goal. Since none of your goals came to fruition, you may now be asking, well, why should I set New Year's resolutions anyway? So how does it feel when you realize that you're not moving forward toward achieving something that you want in life? You say to yourself, I've been thinking about this for 3 years or even more, and I haven't done anything yet. This state of stagnation makes you feel sluggish, dreary, lethargic, and apathetic, no matter how safe and secure our current situation may seem. Most people work at the same job, they stay in the same situations, in the same state of mind for the majority of their lives. There's what we call a hypnotic attribute to familiar routines. You know what I mean. It's like you're hypnotized. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, and you do the same routine on a daily basis year after year. Groundhog Day has now become your life. Now the good news is, if you're dealing with the groundhog life, like many people do, you can give yourself a high five right now. Because, the fact that you're taking the time to listen to me today means you know that you're stuck. And by listening to what I'm going to share, you're already causing things to shift. Change can only come after a shift. As soon as we are made aware of something, we can never not know better. Now, listen really closely. I'm going to share my 3 proven magical steps to punt perfection. The ultimate key to breaking this hypnotic and habitual loop of procrastination is overriding our natural everyday thoughts through pure conscious awareness, and then you have to take massive action. That's it. Those are my 3 magical steps. It is uncomfortable at first only because it's different for you, but it must be done to successfully move forward to achieving your goals and dreams. Henry Ford has a famous quote, and I'm sure many of you have heard of it. Whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. So now let's explain the boundaries of the words I can. The I can is much more important than the IQ. The I can is the belief in infinite possibility that resides deep within you. It's in your soul and your spirit seeking to express itself and expand within you. It pulls you. It's like a magnet. It's a powerful magnet, and you express your magnitude, your magnificence, and the miracle called you, which frees you up to share your gifts with the world. So wouldn't now be a great time to punt perfection and play a bigger game in life? So let's get you unstuck. When you question why you're stuck, some reasons you might come up with are, I don't know where to start, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the money, or I just don't know how. Now this is a good time for me to introduce one of my favorite mottos. Remember the I can that we just discussed? Well, here's another spin on that. And it's my motto that I live by. And it is, I can figure this out too. Whenever I'm feeling fearful or don't have the energy and I want to give up, which, by the way, will happen to you too, I say this motto 5 times to myself. I can figure this out too. Suddenly I have this access to energy reserves I never knew I had, and I plow through the procrastination. So I invite you to use my motto to help you move toward your goals and dreams. It's very, very powerful, and it works. Unfortunately, Steve and I find that most people who deal with procrastination on a regular basis live by the motto of, I can't do this, and I can't figure it out. So I invite you to choose which model you are going to live by beginning today. Remember, as Ford says, either way, you're right. Now, I totally get that sometimes it's hard dealing with procrastination. Remember, I was there. But isn't it worth breaking through the fear and the stuckness in order to reclaim your self-confidence and your empowerment? Procrastination will keep you in the darkness, and you deserve to boldly break out of the shadows of that darkness and to live in the glorious, glorious light that's right there for you. The truth is, you are the only one responsible for your results. Nothing and no one other than you can cause you to win or lose in the race to reach your dreams. You have all the power within you now, and your results can begin to change the moment you choose to do things differently. That simple shift creates the change. Now, a life by design is right there for you, and you're intended to live that life. And I'm sure you guys have imagined that more is possible for you in this lifetime, right? Now, on a personal note, my aha moment, knowing that, it really came to me that more is possible, was when I was in the hospital almost 5 years ago. And I was in the hospital. I had diverticulitis. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's an infection in the colon. And it's dreadfully painful, very, very painful. And I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and they were treating me with, high dosages of pain medicines, hoping that the infection would go down, and antibiotics for the infection. And after week 2, they were ready to discharge me on, saying, hey, we can't just keep you here on pain medicines to manage the pain. The antibiotics will kick in and you'll eventually be okay. And I was so traumatized by the thought of them letting me out, releasing me from the hospital, that I asked them to just do one more CT scan, just one, because my belly was extended bigger than it was before I got there due to the infection, and I was in more pain than before I even entered the hospital. So they did another CT scan, and literally within 5 minutes of them bringing me back to my room, the on-call surgeon came in and he said, ma'am, we need to rush you into emergency surgery. In about 20 minutes, you will die if we don't take care of this situation. Your colon has perforated. And in that moment, there was a shift. I realized that I potentially could die. And when I came to that realization, I said, there's no way I'm going to stop living without fulfilling my purpose in life, to be more, to share more, to contribute to the healing of more people. I was already, a life coach, and I was doing well in coaching a lot of people, but I was playing really small. I wasn't really getting out there, giving it my 100%, and really, really getting past my fears and stepping into my greatness. And in that moment, I said, there's more for me in this lifetime to achieve and share with this world. So and it was such an amazing shift for me. And then during the recovery, and thank God, the surgery went well. And during my recovery, I just remember being in the bed and just really setting up my life and what do I want to achieve? What do I want to share with the world? How do I want to contribute? And that's when I made a decision to really create a life by design and get out of this procrastination and this fear that was holding me back from sharing my special gifts with the world. Now, your aha moment doesn't have to be obviously that dramatic. Always another, motto of mine, it comes from Tim McGraw's song, "Live Like You Are Dying." And that's what I took on after that situation in the hospital. I want to live every day as if I was dying. And so I invite you to just really look at your life and say, why am I stuck in procrastination? Why am I giving in to these fears? There's so much more that is possible for my life, and I want to contribute. I want to be more. I want to do more. So why don't we take a moment here and just look at, once you are able to look at that life that's available to you, once you get past those fears, and you have that glimpse of a different life, it's inspiring, it's invigorating, it's encouraging, and it shakes you to the core. It's a life we are meant to live. It's a life whose magnetism is so powerful that it pulls us like a magnet, and it's beyond our control. It penetrates our thoughts, and it pokes, and it prods, and it prompts us so powerfully that you cannot turn your heart away from its promise. It's in those precious moments when you uncover that it's truly possible to feel more vibrant, more alive, and more blissful than you currently feel, and maybe even more than you ever dreamed possible. You can see yourself giggling like a kid again, feeling free and bountiful, sharing your best, authentic, true self with the world, and ecstatically enjoying every day. This is when you're in alignment with your greatest gifts. And wow, doesn't it feel, mojo-licious? In this revelation of what's possible for you, everyone around you becomes fully supportive. I want you to feel that deep sense of belonging and acceptance with your friends and your family and your coworkers and your colleagues. Isn't it great to be in this dream that's uniquely designed for you? So now let's put this theory into practice. What are some of your dreams? What would you love to do, to be, to create? I want you to pause this program and write down some ideas on your notepad and really hold those thoughts close to your heart for a moment. If there was no fears there, if there's no feelings of I'm not good enough, if there's no feelings of I'm not smart enough, if the possibilities were limitless, and if you knew that there's so much more out there that you could do, what would you be? What would you do? What would you create? So pause this program right now and just jot that down. Now, you're back, and here's a warning. And I know this is already probably creeping into your head. An old recurring and nagging voice begins to speak to you. It may start saying something like, well, what if I fail? Or, stop! Remember what happened last time? Or, what's my family and friends going to say if I do that dream? Or, I don't have the education, the experience, or even the resources. And then, of course, where the heck am I going to get the money for that? The fear that most people have is they don't know how they will achieve the very thing that's powerfully calling to them, like the magnet that I explained earlier. As awesome as their dreams feel, they can't visualize their dream for any significant period of time because fear and what I call the dreaded doubts start creeping in. Are some of these your dreaded doubts? How the heck am I going to do it? Or even, do I deserve it? And if I succeed, then I need to maintain it, and that's not going to happen. So pause again for a few minutes and think about the dreaded doubts that are haunting you right now, and just jot them down. What are the roadblocks and encounters that you're encountering along the road to achieving your dreams? So pause this program right now and write those down. Write down, what are your dreaded doubts? Now, as you're conjuring up all these roadblocks and challenges in your way, you might begin to feel a bit powerless in reaching your dream. So I'm here to remind you that you are supremely powerful, and you already have all the ability you need in order to make your dreams a reality. You have infinite potential to be, create, and achieve whatever you desire. It's all within you now. Now, there are 3 important lessons to be learned to achieve your goals and dreams. And I'm going to break them down for you one by one. The first is that it's all within you now, like I just explained. It's all an inside game. Once you believe it, you will see it come to fruition. But you first have to believe in yourself and not let those dreaded doubts and your negative monkey mind tell you that you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're not brave enough to achieve what you set out to achieve. The second is, no matter how little the resources you have to work with, you can immediately get started. The key here is to focus on what you do have at your disposal and do what you can with what you have. That should not be a stumbling block, so understand that. That's an important lesson to learn. The third is, as long as you take the first few steps with unwavering faith, very important, and a steadfast commitment to the attainment of your goals and dreams, that's when things miraculously and magically begin to fall in place. This happens routinely with our coaching clients, and I've learned that in a competition between unwavering human being and a challenge or even a bad circumstance, we should always bet on the person. Now you see, 80% of what stops human beings is their psychology. And the secret decoder ring unveils that beneath all procrastination is one single thought. I don't think I can, so I don't do. Now let's break this down. Wouldn't you agree if you had 100% confidence that something was going to happen, you would have absolutely no hesitation taking the first step to accomplishing it, right? So the key to success is to believe you can and simply take the first step. Then momentum takes over. There's an infinite power within you that's grander than any challenge or obstacle that you can envision. You have instant access to this power that is within you now, which means you are absolutely capable of achieving a life you desire and dream of creating. Now, your pesky little monkey mind might be thinking, it's simple to say that, but if I've got all that power within me now, why haven't I been able to overcome this fear, these challenges, and the compulsion to procrastinate? And here's the simple reason. Your ability to access this power isn't on autopilot. nor is your ability to make it work as you command it to work. You have to consciously learn how to harness this power and make it work with you instead of against you. The process of achieving your dream is like plugging into an electric socket for power. You can't make electricity work the way you command or you demand it to work. You have to work with the laws of electricity, the way it operates. Once you wire your house according to the laws of its operation, you can plug a lamp into that electrical socket and produce light whenever you flip a switch on. Similar to the laws of electricity, the laws of success work the same way every time, no matter who you are. Electricity doesn't care how smart you are or how many times you've failed in the past. If you're in alignment with the laws of electricity, you can shine a very bright light no matter who you are or how little success you've had in the past. It's just gonna work. So in summary, the laws of success will work for you, no matter your age, gender, upbringing, or past history. It just works. And it worked for me as well as thousands of people I've coached. And the laws will work for you too. And for those of you whose monkey mind is still running saying, I can't do this, you can borrow my belief because I know it works. Now in the next session, I'm going to share what can cause the laws of success not to work. So stay with me and I'll see you in the next session. Ciao for now.